Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Fame with Tiffany Renee. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you have been here before or if you are a subscriber, welcome back. I totally appreciate you like so much. On this channel, we talk about everything that is metaphysics, quantum physics. We talk about things that have to do with the universe and universal laws, spirituality, and all types of things to help elevate our growth and returning back to our natural state of who we really are, claiming our own power, and doing everything that we can to just kind of uplift each other and enjoy this time that we have on this planet. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. I always forget to say that in every single one of my videos. And I have like 90 videos now, and I think I've maybe only remembered to say it like this one time or maybe one other time. Please hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified every single time a new video of mine comes out, a new short or a new post, something that might inspire you, connect with you, resonate with you. Everything that I do say here, some of it is channeled messages because I also do intuitive energy readings, and I also just kind of channel energy as it flows through me like all the rest of us do. It just comes a little bit more distinct nowadays with me, and I'll share whatever messages come in that way. If you want your personal energy intuitive reading, I will leave the link of my website in the description box below. And you can book a session with me. And I have a really good deal going on right now where you can get 3 20-minute sessions for only $33.33. People have been booking these and buying these because the sale ends on November 11th. It was supposed to end on Halloween, but I extended it because people were still buying. So I've just had amazing reviews. Really, you can read the testimonials on my website if you're skeptical, and just take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on this channel. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not one of those people where if you're going to come to my channel, you have to agree with me. That's not necessary. We all have our own thoughts, our own beliefs, and we process information through our own individual filters. So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and just be kind and loving like you all have been in the comments. If you have any questions, if you have any recommendations for future videos, please let me know. So let me start off by saying this is probably going to be a long video. You all know I have my long videos, okay, because I love giving details. And this is one of those videos where there's a lot of moving parts, and it takes place over the span of about 4 days. And it is a manifestation concert success story. I have a lot of those. And this just happened. Like I said, it took place over the span of the last 4 days. I want to share this story because there are so many elements to this story that I feel like will resonate with a lot of people, especially in terms of trying to call something into your life where you see no evidence of it being possible, or when everything looks like it's bad. Like we place the judgment that this is bad on it. This particular series of circumstances hopefully will help shift you from that mindset or that belief that your bridge of incidents has to look favorable. Otherwise, your manifestation can't possibly come. Okay? So stay with me here if you can, if you have the time, okay? Or just put the video on and just listen to my voice while you go do something else. But I really wanted to share this story because on my path, on my journey, I'm constantly learning new things. I have my go-tos that I always mention, Roxy Talks and Brown and Bendy and, you know, a lot of other people who I talk to, Brian Sky and the Reality Revolution. I still listen to them. I still love them. I champion for them. I support a lot of their teachings still to this day. I'm also find myself moving into a more rooted spiritual place in learning more about the I am part of me, the God part of me, the infinite part of me, and the true power that we all possess that sometimes we forget about and we just don't tap into it and we just take things as they come. We accept everything for face value, not knowing that it's just a reflection of who we are, or it's just part of the plan or the script, as Tom Karen says, of the timeline that you've chosen. The script is just playing out, and it's playing out based on our assumptions about whatever that thing is. And so the script is going to play out accordingly. So I've been diving more deeply into this. And so this manifestation comes off the heels of a book that was recommended by one of the moderators in Roxy's community called Busting Loose from the Money Game. Busting Loose from the Money Game. And it's by Robert Scheinfeld. I found it on Audible, on Amazon. You can also get the hard copy. I didn't know that I had it in my Audible library already. So I went to go look for it after she just mentioned it, like last Monday, how she was reading it. And I said, you know what? She's been reading this for a while. Let me see if I can find it. I love listening to audiobooks. And I went to Audible to look for it. And I was surprised that it was already in my library. And I was like, have I read this before? Have I listened to it before? Because I didn't even recall ever listening to it. So I thought, well, I must have heard about this book somewhere else and then just downloaded it. And I just never got around to it. So that's just some of the synchronicities that transpired. So I listened to that book. I just finished the last chapter late last night or early this morning. It's an incredible book. I'm probably going to get the hard copy. I took some notes and all of that, and I'm going to teach you guys something that I learned out of this book that helped me with this manifestation. I know this is a bit of a long intro, but I'm just trying to set you up for how I got here. And I just like to be transparent with you all. And so this is the direction that I'm kind of taking my learning and where I wanted to kind of teach from or gravitate towards and reflect back to all of you. This is the place that I'm at. So I'm listening to Tom Karen a lot, and a new woman I discovered called, her name is Heyyyyyy Derenzi, and she's in Australia, and she's awesome. I love her content. And also Manifesting with Kimberly as well, who I've talked about before. And also Rose with the Rosie Life. The thing that has been a common denominator is this I amness. It's like, get back to your I am. Everything is just a reflection. None of it is real. It's all an illusion, because reality is something that can never be changed. And our I amness, our divinity, our spirit can never be changed. So that's the only reality. And everything is just reflected outwards based on what we're thinking in here and what we assume to be true. And the more I've been diving into this, trying to really grasp it and understand it and accept it as truth, even if I don't always fully understand it, I'm seeing some pretty awesome stuff. Hence this particular video, because I was going to do a video about something completely different until yesterday. And I said I was actually going to film the video when I got home late last night, but then I got distracted because I had a phone call and ended up going to bed. So I still want to film this same video that I was going to film last night. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to jump right into the video now that we've had like a 10-minute intro. So again, I said this is like over a 4-day period. I found out a couple of months ago that Derek Huff, if you're not familiar with him, he's been on Dancing with the Stars. He's currently a judge on Dancing with the Stars, but he started off as one of the dancers and who will be paired up with one of the celebrities, him and his sister Julianne. They've done Christmas specials together. They've done tours together. He's a phenomenal dancer. He's been a judge on World of Dance. It was J-Lo's show. And he's just a really, really talented dancer. He's really, really incredible. Well, he came here on tour back in 2019 into my city. And that's the first time I ever saw him. And I got a chance to meet him. We took selfies, and he actually took this selfie. He took my phone and took our selfie, and I did some art, and I gave him a piece of art and everything, and he posted it on Instagram, and he's just a fabulous guy. His dancers are amazing. So he came back, and he was here last night at the same theater, and I wanted to go, but the 3D reality was like, no ma'am. Because of a series of events, a multitude of things going on in life. It's like, okay, you don't have the resources right now because you got other stuff going on. You don't have a ticket. And, you know, I always got to be in the front row. Like, come on, you know, like 99.9% of my concert experiences, I'm in the front. Like, this is just what I manifested because it's what I decided. That's the version of me who I was going to be. And so I wanted to be in the front row. I was in the front row the last time I saw him. My seat was 111, row 1, seat 11, because I manifested it that way. And I got the seat and I had the best time. And I wanted that same experience this time. And so I said, okay, my 3D reality is telling me that I don't have the means to go see him. I don't have the ticket. Funds ain't looking right. You know, you're going to have to pay for parking. You're going to have to get whatever. And according to Ticketmaster and every other ticket site, there are not even any front row seats available anywhere, which, you know, I don't even be caring about that. But just to set you up to see the obstacles, okay? So it's like, okay, no money, no ticket, no money to buy the ticket, even if there was a ticket, and then the tickets are not even available because everything is grayed out, showing that somebody already bought the ticket. The entire front row was all gray, completely bought out, right? And I said, okay, what have I been learning? What have I been learning from busting loose from the money game, which is highly metaphysical as well, and quantum physics is mentioned. What have I been learning from that? What have I been learning from Tom Karen and the Be Something Wonderful channel? What have I been learning from Headley? Like, I mean, it's just so many things that it's like, it's time to put this into practice. Okay. You can't just be watching the videos or whatever, and you're not actually doing something with the information that you're consuming. So it's like, okay, this is the time for me to put it into practice these new shifting changes and beliefs that I am trying to adopt, my I amness, how everything is me. Everything is me. And so therefore I can change it all. And one thing that the book talks about and that Tom Karen mentioned over those last couple of days was how you are already everything that you already want. It's already you. It's already here. It belongs to you. And it doesn't even exist anyway. All of this isn't even real anyway. And I was using that like, okay, well, the theater doesn't even exist anyway. The show doesn't even really exist anyway. The tickets don't even exist anyway. There is no front row. There is nothing. It's all an illusion, really. It's just projections from my mind. They exist because I say that they do, because I've accepted the fact that they do, right? So if that's the case, that means they're changeable, they're malleable. I can make the circumstances be whatever I want. Okay, let me play with this here. So I went out on Wednesday and to someone's retirement party that I was invited to. And, I was dressed up and everything. I came home that night and I felt inspired action. This was on Wednesday. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to post a video talking about Derek and my experience in 2019. And I did that. And I made like 3 videos. It was like 4 videos that I had to break up to put on Instagram. It was like a 5-minute long video. And just telling about my whole experience and telling people how I'm so excited. And I was like, Derek, listen, can I come to the show? Can I be in the front row? What's up? Shout out to all the dancers who I met before, and I tagged everybody, and he ended up seeing it. The next day, on Thursday, I got up and I noticed that he had taken a snippet of my video and of one of the videos I uploaded on Instagram, and he put it on his Insta story. And it was the screen cap that I had put on there was, can I get a front row seat to your show on Saturday? And I saw you in 2019, so can I get a seat? And I said, wow. Of all the snippets, that he cut out, it was that. So I said, okay, I'm going to take this this is meaning something. This is part of my bridge of incidents. That's what the book was talking about, saying everything is part of your bridge of incidents. Manifesting with Kimberly. Everything is part of your bridge of incidents. There is no such thing as an unwanted circumstance, because if it appears, it's part of your bridge of incidents. You can just decide, no matter what it looks like, this is part of my path to getting what I want. So I decided that was part of my bridge of incidents to get me at the right route. I mean, I'm like, this is confirmation. I'm just going to be there. I felt anxious. I felt doubt, of course, because my logical mind is still trying to tell me, hey, remember, you have no resources, okay? So logically speaking, you have no way to actually make this happen. You can't get to this show, remember? And I was like, I see you. I hear you. You make perfect sense, but I'm not choosing that. There's a version of me that listens to you and just throws in the towel and doesn't go and all that. And I honor that version of me. She has a right to be there, but that's not the version I'm choosing. I'm choosing the timeline where I'm there and everything is working out for me, period. Everything is part of my bridge of incidents to get there. That's what I started telling myself. I let myself feel the anxiety and the doubt. Sometimes the feeling didn't go anywhere, the pit in your stomach and all that. And I said, that's fine. You can be there. You're just doing what you do. But I know that I'm going to be there. Period. So Thursday, I'm excited because I see that he posted. I'm like, well, maybe, hey, all right, cool. And I think to myself, well, this is part of my bridge of incidents in terms of learning what I've been learning, and I'm choosing that this is a good thing. So then Friday comes and still no resources, still no tickets, still no evidence that I'm going to get there. None. But I came into a couple of dollars, and I was like, okay, I got a couple of dollars. I can at least pay for parking if I have to, even though I would prefer my parking to be free. If I have to pay for it, I have parking money. Great. And then I said, I want to get something to wear. What do I have to wear? Because I put that in my video. What am I going to wear? So I'm like, what am I going to wear? And I ended up going to Goodwill. Didn't find anything because look, I love Goodwill. Okay, listen, those thrift shops, yes. Okay. Then I went to Rainbow, which is my go-to for my concert outfits. And I had a $10 bill. And I said, okay, I don't want to spend any more than $10. I want to find something nice to wear, and I only want to spend $10 or less. Like, I hand the $10 and that's it. Like, I don't need, so it's like 9 and some change to where $10 is enough. Like, not even a penny over the 10. That was my intention. I went into Rainbow and I ended up finding this really cute dress. It was spaghetti strap, but I'm like, okay, it's cold here. Well, I have a black turtleneck and I have black leggings and black ankle boots. And this dress, which was kind of a knockoff Versace-ish type of print, which is almost identical to the print that I wore back in 2019 when I went to see him. And the gold and all of that, it was, the synchronicity was crazy. So I took that as, this is part of my bridge of incidents. Great. Synchronicity in the outfits. I looked at the price of the dress. There was only one dress left in my size. It was $5 on clearance, with an extra 25% off. I can't make this up, people. I got to the register and she rang it up, and it was $3.75, taxes and everything. I kid you not, okay? $3.75 for that cute dress. And I was like, come through, universe, come on. So I got very excited about that. Came home. I said, I'm going to do my nails. Again, still no evidence that I could possibly make it to this show, other than I know I can get there and pay for parking. But as far as getting in and seeing the show, all that, nothing. No evidence whatsoever. Okay? I keep reiterating that because I want you to see what happens when you follow these practices and you step into who you really are and you take charge of your reality. So Friday comes and I said, well, I'm going to do my nails because that's what I would be doing if I had my front row seat. I went and got my outfit, got the dress because that's what I would have been doing if I had my front row seat. Had my money for parking because that's what I would have been doing if I had my front row seat. So living in the end, embodying the version of me that already had her front row seat, that already had her ticket to the show. Okay, so what would she be doing? She would be getting ready for the show. So let me get ready for this show. I had planned how I was going to do my hair. I'm going to do something a little different. Okay, this bouffant is actually from last night, but it sat so well when I slept. I'm like, okay, we're keeping the little bouffant. I had a big ponytail that matched. The curls was curling. Listen, I said I would be doing all this if I had my ticket. So let me do this. Let me get it together. Let's do the nails. Okay, let's get the nails fabulous. And I sat and I did my nails for like 3 hours. It took me to do my nails. And I listened to the rest of the audiobook, Busting Loose from the Money Game. And he had this thing called Taking Back My Power, which he calls Step 2. And he recited what it is that he says and what we should say. And I ended up recording it. Like, I recorded him off of the audiobook, and then I wrote it down, and then I re-recorded it in my own voice. And I started playing it. And, correction, I heard that part on Thursday. So on Thursday, I was listening to that. And then I wrote it down, I recorded it, and then I was listening to it Thursday night, and then Friday, and then all night Friday night while I slept. So I re-recorded it in my voice. And I'm going to read it to you because I want you to write it down as well, okay? I am the power and presence of God creating this. It's not real. It's completely made up. It's a creation of my consciousness. And I reclaim my power from this creation now. And he says, take a pause. As I reclaim the power, I feel it coming back to me. And feel the power coming back to you. I feel it surging through me. Then feel the power surge through you. As I feel it surging through me, I feel myself expanding even more into who I really am, expressing even more of who I really am. And then he said to insert your name. I just put Tiffany, but you can put extension of source, extension of God, God in human form, my I am, however you want to define yourself. And then he says, feel yourself opening up into that energy. And you keep reciting that while you're replaying your scene over and over again of your desire of the end result, which for me was being front row. Does he dare it? And you keep saying it until the discomfort of that possibility of you not getting it kind of starts to dissipate. I recorded it and I put it on this loop app that I have, and it just loops all night long. And I just listened to it as I slept. I'm telling you, there is something to this. Because like I said, Friday, there was still no evidence of anything. I did my nails. I was acting like I embodied that person. Anyway, I'm like, I'm still going. It doesn't matter. I'm still going. I don't care. Saturday came. Last night, I got ready. I got dressed. I felt like I was fabulous. You know, your girl was looking cute. So, sorry, this cold. Throat still, whatever. However, I was cute. I got dressed and I got in the car and I got ready to go. And the whole time while I was getting ready, I was listening to Tom Karen. I was listening to one particular video that had just come out that day, and I will link it in the description box below. Baby, that video had me so empowered and so fired up. I was like, yes, yes. Listen, when I tell you, I felt like this is about to work out for me again. Like, this is going to work out for me. It's everything is part of my bridge of incidents. There is no negative unless I say it is. So great. Let's go. No ticket. Great. That's fine. It's part of my bridge of incidents to get me to the front row still. No money. That's fine. It's part of my bridge of incidents for me to still get my front row. It doesn't matter. I get to the venue, pay for parking across the street. I come in and I just kind of hang out. I go to the box office and, I was like, hey, I was just out of curiosity because, he posted my video. So I thought maybe I was on the list or something like that. And I wasn't, but I said, you know what? That's fine because this is part of my bridge of incidents. This is cool. It's great. So then I'm just watching other people go in, scan their tickets, and I'm blessing them. I'm sending them love. And I'm like, this is just part of my bridge of incidents. This is part of my bridge of incidents. And the way this venue is set up, you have like a foyer where the box office is. And then there's some other doors, and you can't go beyond those doors without a ticket being scanned. So I just had to hang out. And then I noticed that they had a couple of tickets on Ticketmaster. They had one in the middle of the orchestra in the center. And I was like, okay, it wasn't too bad price-wise. And I thought, what if I call my friend and maybe she can get it for me and I'll just like pay her back next week or whatever. Or it could be like an early birthday present. This was my inspired action. And so I called my friend. She was like, well, how much is the ticket? And I tell her, she was like, well, let me check my account and I'll call you right back. And if it looks good, then, I'll just buy it for you, whatever. Okay. Well, I don't hear back from her. And I'm just there waiting and waiting and waiting for her to call back. And because I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for her to call back, I'm literally just waiting. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, this is part of my bridge of incidents. She hasn't called back. She hasn't texted me. This is part of my bridge of incidents. This is good. This is fine. This lady walks out just in a tizzy, right? She's mad. She hands me her phone and she says, "Can you figure this out? I don't have my glasses on." And I read whatever is in her email, and she had bought tickets and the barcode wasn't coming up. So I'm reading through the instructions. I said, "Well, did you tap this? Did you this?" And she was like, "Yes." And she was freaking out. And then I was trying to tap something, but it kept reverting it back to her email. And then her phone was ringing. And then she was like, "This is my friend, blah, blah, blah. She's coming in from out of town, whatever, whatever." And excuse me, et cetera, doing the most, right? She was so upset. And she takes the phone, she talks to her friend, and then she starts freaking out, talking about, I think I just got scammed out of $200+. And then this woman is standing here and she's just like going through my email, and I don't know, and like she's yelling. And I'm standing right there. She's telling her friend this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Who does she think I am, though? Like, it's obvious that I don't work there. Everybody who works at the venue has venue shirts, but she's just kind of going off on to her friend about me, saying that I'm not helping her. Okay. She ends up going to the box office, which is just like the box office window, because I'm standing next to the box office. And then she's talking to the person. She's telling her what's going on. And then she's wanting tickets. She's like, "Can I just buy 2 tickets?" And she's so flabbergasted. And then she looks at me again and says, and then she's just standing there. I'm asking this woman. She's not even helping. And she's like, you literally yelling at me now. She's yelling at me, saying how I didn't help her and I didn't do anything. Again, I'm like, is she yelling at me? Like, who is she? Like, who is? The first knee-jerk reaction was, who is she talking to? Like, and who is she yelling at? Like, and I was like, no. She's mad. I've been in that position before where you think you have tickets and then the last minute you don't. And you feel like you just wasted your money. I get it. She was angry. And so I was like, you know what? This is part of my bridge of incidents. This woman getting crazy with me. This is part of my bridge of incidents for getting my front row. Period. Like, I can't let her get to me like that. She's part of my bridge of incidents. I don't know how, because she's talking crazy to me right now. But I politely said, "Ma'am, you asked me to help you. You said you didn't have your glasses. And so I was just reading for you. I don't work here. I was just trying to help. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I was literally just trying to help because you came and asked me for help." And then she was just ignoring me as if she didn't hear anything that I just said, which is fine. Bless. Okay. So that transpires. And then her friend comes, and then they step outside because she's just throwing a fit. She goes to talk to security. He sends her right back to the box office. That pissed her off even more. So they're outside. So as they're walking outside, this other woman who's like carrying stuff, she comes up behind them and she says, "Are you trying to get tickets?" And she's like, "Yeah, I bought tickets." And her friend is explaining it because the woman is crying now. And then the lady who was carrying stuff comes back in and she goes to the box office. And she was like, "Can I just have 2 tickets?" And she buys 2 tickets for irate woman and her friend, right? And I said, "Are you taking care of her? Are you getting her tickets?" She was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah," because she was really upset. I don't know, she was yelling at me because she asked me to help. And I don't know, so she's really upset. So I'm glad that, that's really nice that you're doing that for her. And she was like, yeah, it's fine. And she gets the tickets and she goes out. Again, I had a knee-jerk reaction, a knee-jerk response in my mind that was like, now, this heifer, because in my mind at the time she was a heifer, I was like, this heifer was snapping at all of these people, including me, snapping at the box office lady, snapping at security, got nasty and crazy with me, but then turned around and got blessed and had some stranger woman who I thought worked for the venue because she was carrying stuff, buy her not one but 2 tickets for her and her friend after she was so nasty to the rest of us. I was like, interesting. This is so outrageous. Okay. I said, this is so outrageous. This has got to be part of my bridge of incidents for me to get my front row seat. Because this right here, Miss Irate Woman, she cut up so bad. Okay. Up in there. She caused such a scene and turned around and got blessed by a complete stranger to get her 2 tickets. I said, this is so outrageous and unbelievable that I know this is part of my bridge of incidents for me to be in the front row. Because if she's going to be blessed, I know I'm about to be blessed too. That's how I had to rationalize it. Okay, people? That's what I'm saying. You could turn any negative situation into a positive by changing your perspective about it. I was like, this has got to be part of my bridge of incidents. This is part of my bridge of incidents because I'm about to be blessed and I'm about to be in the front row. If that can happen for her, it most assuredly is going to happen for me, period. And so I'm just hanging out there. The people are kind of talking about her, some of the staff, and I was just like, yeah, I'm glad. I was like, walked over. I said, yeah, she was really mad. Like, she was yelling at me and everything. They were like, that was just doing too much. And there was another lady as well who was there, and I was like, yeah. And so I asked her, my friend, I'm still waiting on her to see if she's going to buy me this ticket. I see through the TV that the show has just started. So even though the show has started, can I still get a ticket and come in at any time? She was like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Even at the last minute, if the show only has 30 minutes left, you get a ticket, you can still come in. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was just waiting and waiting. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, like, why is my friend not reaching back out? And I'll say maybe 2 or 3 numbers had already been done. So maybe just 15 minutes of the show had started. And that same lady who said that I could come in at any time during the show, she walked over to me and this other security guard lady and said, I don't know why, but God just put it on my heart to buy you a ticket. I don't know why. I don't know where it's coming from, but God is just putting it on my heart right now to buy you a ticket. Blessed, okay? Blessed. Because I decided that woman who was so nasty to everybody, if she gonna be blessed, I'm gonna be blessed. Period. Because I decided she's part of my bridge of incidents. That nonsense is part of my bridge of incidents to getting what I want. So this lovely woman who worked at the venue, she went and she came to the box office. She was like, what's your cheapest ticket? That didn't have an obstructive view. And then they found me a seat in the balcony. I've never been in the balcony at that venue before, and I've been there a gajillion times. I'm usually always in the front. And I said, oh, it's a balcony. I've never been to your balcony before. This is a new experience. I turned it into a positive, even though I know I wasn't trying to be in the balcony. I'm trying to be in the front row. I was like, well, this is cool. I'll be in the balcony. That should be dope. I'll be able to see everything. Cool. And I felt so much gratitude. I hugged the lady. I was getting teary-eyed. I was just like, God bless you. Thank you so much. And so she paid for the ticket. I went to the balcony. They escorted me up there, and it was way up in the balcony. And I was like, woo, buddy, this is far from my usual front row. And my seat was way on the far side. It was like this couple, and then I was on the other side up against the wall. So I walked through my aisle, and I got to this couple, and I said, I'm gonna just sit in this empty seat right here so y'all don't have to get up. He was like, yeah, that's totally fine. No one was in the row. It was like just us. So I sit there and we're watching the show. I'm recording a few things, and it was maybe, I had only been sitting there maybe 10 minutes, right? Because the show had only been going on for maybe 15 minutes. And so I was sitting there literally for maybe 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out, and then the house lights come up, and it says, we're now going to take a 20-minute intermission. Now, while I was watching, okay, from the balcony, I still kept saying to myself, this is part of my bridge of incidents. This is part of my bridge of incidents. I am going to be in the front row. This is part of my bridge of incidents. I'm going to have the experience that I want still. Even though I was way up high in that balcony, I was recording. I was like, whoa, y'all better work. The whole time, this is just part of my bridge of incidents. And I looked down because I could see all the way down to the front row. I saw a row of people, and then I saw 2 spaces, and then I saw 2 people on the far end. And I kept staring at those 2 spaces, and I was like, holy crap. Are those 2 empty front row seats? The house lights come up. They call a 20-minute intermission. I get up immediately, and I making my way all the way down to the main floor. And then I ask one of the ladies who worked there, and I'm like, hey, I am in the balcony. We laughed about some stuff first, about like the long bathroom line. And I said, so I'm in the balcony. I happen to look down, and I see some front row seats that might be open. I don't see anybody sitting there. What if I meander on down there? And she was like, unless someone comes and tells you, hey, we don't have no control over where people sit. Unless somebody says, hey, you in my seat. You know what I mean? And I was like, so she was kind of like, I don't know nothing. Do what you do. And I was like, okay. So I meander on the way down. I end up coming in on the opposite side. And I'm like, okay. Excuse me, everybody. I'm sorry. Excuse me. And I go all the way down the aisle in the front row. And I'm like counting, like, okay, is someone here? Because some people got up for the intermission. And they're like, no, someone's here. But these 2 are empty. I was like, no one's sitting here? Like, no one's sitting there. Okay, so this one must be my seat. And I started talking about how, they changed the chairs. Yeah, they didn't used to look like this. And I introduced myself to the people next to me and the people behind me. This lovely lady and her grandmother. And, she was with her granddaughter, and her granddaughter's about to go off to college. And we started talking, and we were talking about my college experiences and what brought me here for school and what I majored in. And, they were just so nice and so sweet. I mean, it literally looked like I was somebody who just came late and just got my seat. Front row. There were 2 empty front row seats. The other seat they were just using for the jackets. And so I set my jacket there, and she had her jacket over the chair. And it stayed empty for the entire night of the show. Nobody came. Like those 2 seats. Do you see what I'm telling you? And here's the kicker. I had just checked Ticketmaster. Okay. When I was trying to find myself a ticket, that entire row was gray. You know what that means? That means they are unavailable. They are sold. They are purchased. They are reserved. Okay? They're not available for purchase. They're gray. There's nothing there. Those exact seats were gray. Do you see what I'm saying? But they were available to me. Everything is part of your bridge of incidents, people. Okay? Are you seeing? Is your mind blown? Okay? And then the crazy part is, if I back up a little bit, when I asked the lady during the intermission, when I came downstairs, and I was like, hey, can I meander down there and see about them seats? She was like, hey, I don't know nothing. But she also said, we're just trying to figure out what's going on because there was not supposed to be an intermission. We're shocked. We're on the radio like, did you know there was an intermission? No, it wasn't even part of the program. A surprise 20-minute intermission? You can't tell me that was not part of my bridge of incidents. You cannot tell me that was not orchestrated beautifully, okay, by the universal laws, people. I was like, look at God. Like, are you hearing me? There was no intermission scheduled. There was not supposed to be an intermission for that show. An intermission appeared. And I believe, I'm just going to say it. I believe the intermission appeared because it was part of my bridge of incidents to give me time to go from the balcony all the way down to the front row with no problem in those empty seats. And I was put in the balcony initially. My initial ticket was supposed to be in the balcony just so I could look down and I would have the vision to see the entire theater. And I could see the empty seats because they were on the same side of the part of the balcony that I was placed on. I looked right down and I could see 2 empty front row seats. I was put there specifically as part of the bridge of incidents. Are you here? Do you see the synchronicities? Are you seeing how everything was connected? From being put in the balcony so I could look down and see the empty front row seats to a random intermission that wasn't supposed to happen to give me time to get down there. Okay? No questions. No one, just go right on in because it's intermission. They're not checking tickets. Everyone's coming in and out. Do you see what I mean? So I didn't even need a ticket. I didn't need a ticket because there was an intermission that wasn't supposed to be there. Family, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Do you see the synchronicity? For the rest of the show, when I tell you I got my life, okay, I got so much love from the dancers. From Derek, one of the dancers, he recognized me because I mentioned him in my glorious post about them, and he put it on his Insta story. One of the other dancers put it on her Insta story. He recognized me from the stage, and he was just like blowing me kisses. And Derek came over, and he was just like giving me handshakes, and we was doing a conversation, everything. And when I tell you, the love was amazing, the energy was phenomenal. Okay, I got great footage of them. Okay, and the lady behind me, the grandmother, when the show was over and they were doing their final bows, she heard her granddaughter have bought little signs like 10s, like on Dancing with the Stars, and they give you numbers. And she handed me one of her little signs. And so I held it up and then Derek saw it, and it's actually on his Insta story, but it's filmed from behind and you can kind of see me, but he comes over and he takes it from me. And then he holds it up, 10, and everyone is erupting and cheers and everything. And he hands it back and he's laughing. When I tell you, it was mind-blowing. Then the show ended. We went outside, got to take pictures with some of the dancers when they came out. And then, we had to clear the lot. So we couldn't be in the parking lot anymore. So I had to go on the other side of the fence. And I was like, you know what? This is part of my bridge of incidents. This is part of the bridge of incidents, because then I started to panic, like, oh, well, the buses are right there. And what if they go back around and they're not going to be able to see me or whatever? And I was like, no, you know what? Derek is going to see me. He's going to come out from the other way. This is part of my bridge of incidents. I'm not supposed to be standing there. I'm supposed to be standing right where I am. I just started repeating that over and over and over again. And then he ended up coming out and he walked around where I could see him to come around to the other side of the bus. And I was just like, hi, Derek. And then he saw me and he came over, and like he walked all the way over across the parking lot to see me, and he hugged me and we talked and we took our selfies. I was really just gushing over him because he's like one of the nicest people ever. And he took our selfie again like he did the last time. He took my phone and took our selfies. And then he's like, let's make a video. And so we recorded a video. And he was like, how did you like the show? And I'm just gushing over the show. And he just was laughing and he was loving it. And then I saw the lady who bought the tickets for Miss Nasty Woman, Miss Irate Lady. Bless, let me not call her that. But, you know, she was upset. It's fine. But I saw the lady who bought tickets for her and her friend. And I saw them in the orchestra, by the way. Like, so she got them good tickets. She got them good seats. I saw them when we were leaving. I was in the front, but they were like maybe 4 or 5 rows behind me. But I saw that lady and I realized she's part of his team. So she must have just seen them and overheard the commotion, whatever, as she was walking out with the equipment or whatever outside. And she saw them at the box office and then she just wanted to bless them, right? With the tickets. And I was, because she looked at me and said, that's the girl from the video. And I was like, I am. Because she saw the video because he posted it about me. So we just had a great moment. We had he's so much fun. The show is phenomenal. He's great. We had our moment. Everything worked out beautifully. Okay. I uploaded footage. He saw it. His wife saw it. One of his dancers started following me. Like, they're still looking at it and posting, you know, they're sharing my stories onto their pages and they're just showing me love. And listen, when I tell you these new teachings that I've been learning, they're powerful. And, you know, I'm using them on other things that's going on in my life that I have a little bit more resistance to. But I gotta say, this manifestation story right here, when I tell you everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and the whole time I just kept saying, nope, this is part of my bridge of incidents to get what I want. This has to happen so that I can be in the front. Oh, this has to happen so I can be in the front. Ladies talking crazy to me. Okay, that had to happen so I can be in the front. Lady talking crazy to me and then turned around and got blessed. Okay, this has got to be confirmation that I'm about to be blessed and I'm about to get in the front. Then one of the workers turns around and says, hey, God put it on my heart to buy you a ticket. That's me being blessed. Oh my God. And then the fact that the ticket was in the balcony, and I'm like, this is good. This is part of my bridge of incidents. And it was, because it gave me a bird's eye view of the rest of the theater, and I was able to see that there was 2 empty front row seats. And then all of a sudden, they have an intermission that was not even written into the program. Are you hearing me? So during that intermission, I could go downstairs and be like, okay, is anybody really sitting here? No? Well, I'm sitting here now because this is for me. This is my seat. One of these seats are mine. I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up, y'all. Oh my gosh. Listen, I can't make it up. Go check out Derek Huff's show. It's called the Symphony of Dance Tour. If you're a big fan of dance, especially ballroom style dancing, you will enjoy it. You'll have a blast. The dancers are phenomenal. Check it out. He's a great person. If you have a chance to talk to him, he's so sweet and so personable. He's so funny. And I'm just saying, it's a great show. But all that to say, everything is part of your bridge of incidents. Even if people getting in your face and yelling at you, it's part of your bridge of incidents to get you what you want. Stay in focus. Stay in that character. Stay in the character of the version of you that already has the thing. And just choose that every single thing that's transpiring, it's just another brick in the road to connect you with your desire. That's it. That's literally what I've been doing for the last 4 days. And for those 4 days, and it got me my end result, especially on the day of. So it was just a blessing all the way around, because, you know, I love going to shows and I love going to concerts. And sometimes I got to call in the metaphysical forces, call from, the realm of the unseen to make stuff seen. And, if I got the resources, I'm buying the ticket immediately. No hesitation. If I don't have the physical, tangible resources, I know there's supernatural resources, and those resources are unlimited. God is the source of all supply. That supply is limitless. So somehow, some way, I'm gonna get what I want. A bridge of incidents is going to occur, and it's going to lead me straight to the thing. My mind is still blown off this story, y'all. Check out Busting Loose from the Money Game. Busting Loose from the Money Game. Phenomenal book. Read it. There's like some images and stuff if you get the hard copy and stuff in the appendix and things like that. But he also describes them in the audiobook. It's about 7 hours to listen to the audiobook, and it's absolutely incredible. Take notes. Utilize the step 2, taking back my power thing that I just read. Rewind this, write them as I read it, write it down, or record me on your device, like play it on your laptop or computer and record it to your phone, and then listen to me, and then you can write it down, and then you can re-record it in your voice and listen to it over and over on a loop, like every day, every night, like I do. And it's pretty phenomenal. And I'm still doing it. I listen to it every night, and I just let it loop over and over and over again. So these are just some things that I'm learning, and everything is part of the bridge of incidents. And because we create it all. Because we create it all. So if I'm projecting that, it's being projected from somewhere, from some seed that I planted a long time ago, from an assumption or whatever. And it's playing out. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's totally fine. I can still decide that you're part of my bridge of incidents. I can still decide that this is good. This is a good thing. I don't have to condemn it and judge it like it's something bad. Right? So I hope this helped. I hope you are inspired and you got just as jazzed as I still am. Thank you all for sticking around with me for this hour. I will leave the link to my website if you want to sign up for some sessions. Also, I will leave the link to Tom Karen's video that I watched all day yesterday while I was getting ready. That really helped me also get into the mindset to get what I wanted, and had the best experience yesterday. Check that out. Like, share, subscribe, tap the bell icon. And if you want to donate to the channel, great. I'll put my Cash App in the description box as well, if the spirit moves you. But you all are so powerful. We got this. Okay. Everything is part of your bridge of incidents. There's no such thing as a negative circumstance unless it's defined as so. You have to define it. It's a good thing. This is good. I will feel my feelings. I'll feel my anger, my frustration, and my doubt, and still know this is just part of my bridge of incidents. I don't gotta like it, but it's still part of my bridge of incidents. I didn't like that lady talking crazy to me, but I still decided you're still part of my bridge of incidents. Period. You gotta be. And I'm accepting it as such. I'm defining it as such. So thank you all. I appreciate you. And I am thinking about doing another YouTube channel that's strictly only about concert stuff and VIP type stuff. And I'll upload a lot of my concert footage from concerts over the years, probably. So I'll let you guys know. I'm mulling that over. It'll be kind of like just like the Concert Queen, like, channel. So you guys, it could all be just in one spot. Okay. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Love you all. And go and create your best life. Call it forth. Whatever you're going through, remember, it is just part of your bridge of incidents because you already have the thing that you want. It's already there. This is just the bridge of incidents to getting you to the tangible experience of having it. Love you all. Thank you so much. Until next time.